I've been using this iPad for the past 4 years every single day and cannot imagine my life without it. I use this device for both leisure and productivity.
So in this video I want to show you how I set everything up in it to make the most out of this oldest buddy.
Starting with the iPad itself, it's an old iPad of the 9th generation with 64 gigs of internal storage, running 18.5 iPadOS version. I bought this tablet in 2021 and I put a protective glass on it. As you can see, it works perfectly well and has survived multiple free falls. Also, I have a sort of protective magnetic folio on the iPad as old as the device itself. It stands on a surface, making a perfect angle to watch anything from any direction. And it can also be converted into a more horizontal position in case I want to write on it. So it doesn't just lie flat, but put the iPad in a position convenient for writing. As for writing, I have an Apple Pencil alternative because the original one costs a penny and I don't care about fancy features, so I bought Bezos Pen for iPad, and it works fine for my simple writing and scribbling demands.
Since I became a minimalist, I've stuck to one particular principle when I make any purchase. Before buying anything new, especially if it costs a penny, I think of use cases for this thing.
It should serve at least a couple of purposes for me to own it.
And I found the following use cases for iPad that I couldn't completely fulfill with my phone or my laptop.
Reading and annotating it, playing some casual games, consume various types of visual content anywhere, complement my workflow and productivity.
Or at least it is ready to support any of those mentioned things. And also bear in mind that it is a complementary device for me and not my main working machine. Let's get started. Sometimes I can rely on iPad as a procrastination device, and sometimes it can be my productivity doubling machine. It's only up to me to decide. That's why I set it up the following way.
Let's start with the home screen and what I did to it in order to look this way. First, I deleted all apps I wasn't using from the view. That also includes the distractors like my basketball game NBA 2K, Netflix, YouTube, these kind of apps.
Well, that's easy one. Out of sight, out of mind.
Then I disabled almost all apps notification badges. That means I still get the email or message on the lock screen or as a pop-up, but I don't see the number of unread notifications.
I just don't like these red numbers on the apps icons because they simply make me anxious and distract me, to be honest.
For that, you can open Settings, scroll down to the Apps section, go to the desired app setting, find badges, and click Disable.
Voila! You never see them again. Downside of this is that you have to do that manually for each app.
In order to keep my screen nice and minimal, I opened the home screen and app library and cleaned my dock. Unfortunately, iPadOS doesn't allow you to disable dock at all, but you can make it look cleaner by disabling these settings. And also a cool life hack is to choose app library only for newly downloaded apps, so they don't appear on your home screen.
In case you set everything neatly on it and don't want a new app to break your perfect layout.
Also, if you are curious, I'm using the light theme for now and chose larger apps icons simply because they fancy me more.
Before I explain what's on my home screen, I want to share a couple of ways I'm using my iPad to feel that productivity vibe from it. And the first cool feature I discovered when I bought my Mac laptop.
That's probably the best feature iOS has. Seamless connecting iPad to Mac as a second screen, I'm literally using it daily while working my main day job or creating content. I'd love second monitors, and that's pretty convenient and most importantly makes this setup portable while preserving the functionality.
The second feature is super simple.
It's a standard by now split screen feature for productivity, which I use when I take notes somewhere or plan something in a hybrid mode on iPad. Of course, I also love to make notes while reading a book, but don't like to spoil a physical one with my little scribbles, so the iPad is a perfect solution for that.
Now let's have a quick tour on the apps and widgets I have on my main screen. Spoiler, I don't have any dedicated focus modes as most iPad users because I don't do my work on it.
For now, it's a part content consumption and part content creation, plus some productivity features that I've just shown you.
Please note that I'm allergic to most paid apps, and the app should be a goddamn superior GigaChat in paid apps world for me to consider buying it. So everything I have on this iPad is absolutely free and available on the App Store.
On the main screen, I have this huge calendar widget from the app called Minical. Very underrated to my mind because this free version is just awesome and works perfectly for me. On the right side, I have a widget from the Flip Clock app. I just wanted to have a dark theme clock so it looks cool. So here we go. The Flip Clock app also helps me as my Pomodoro timer, so it hits two birds with one stone. Then comes my recent discovery, a productivity app called Structured. I'm a visual type of person, so having a bird's-eye view of my day is kind of a thing that helps me to keep myself accountable about the time I spend on work and personal related activities. You can cross out activities through the widget on the home screen and have a nice visual to support the task management.
If you thought Google Calendar was the perfect app for time blocking your activities to feel more productive, now think again.
On the lower row, I have the most important Notion page, my video workstation. As I'm partially using an iPad for content creation, tapping this widget takes me to my Notion page where I can access my scripts and other materials for making these YouTube videos. As simple as that. And the only folder I got on my home screen is dedicated to content creation as well, which includes YouTube Studio with my channel analytics, Pinterest, where I search for things that inspire me, and Perplexity, which is an AI chatbot for research. It helps me to save time brainstorming on my videos initially, but nothing more.
Because I'm not using it for creative work, content is for humans and machines suck at that.
And finally, I have a Freeform in here, which is a stock app for writing and drawing, which works across devices. It's from one of the 2024 system updates, and I was so happy to get it. Since Apple didn't have this one before, I had to use some third-party apps, but now it feels like a mix of Miro and GoodNotes, which I use to visually organize my ideas, journal, and scribble if I'm in the mood for it. Last but not least, if I scroll left, I access a couple of widgets. The first one is a time tracker, which shows how much time I spend on digital activities, and the second one shows me a pretty detailed weather forecast so I know what to wear and how to plan my day. And I almost forgot to show you the lower row of apps on the home screen. There is nothing special in here except my basic Google Kit cross-platform apps, since I don't use Mac native ones. The first one is Google Chrome, which is my main browser, Google Keep, which is my main app to take notes, which I usually sort out to my Notion from time to time. And of course it's my Google Calendar, because my work and personal calendars are connected in here.
That's how I set it all up in here for myself. And let me know in the comments below if you want to see all apps I have on this iPad until I've upgraded it or it just died from age.
I think we all should remember that any tech is just a tool, and you should try to have as few distractions as possible to not let it dictate what you have to do when you open it.
Subscribe to my channel to see more content like this on minimalism, productivity and self-improvement for a better life. And don't forget to like this video to see me in the next one. Cheers!